recorded this song in 1969 to protest the Vietnam War. It's a critique of social inequality and the privilege of the elite who could avoid the draft and the harsh realities of war while others were sent to fight. It features our own Dave Urachek on vocals.
Some folks are born, made to wave the flag. Ooh, the red, white, and blue. Yeah. But when the band plays Hail to the Chief, ooh, they point the cannon at you, Lord. It ain't me, it ain't me. I ain't no little son. It ain't me, it ain't me. I ain't no fortunate one, no. Some folks with silver spoon in hand, Lord, don't they help themselves, Lord. But when the tax man comes to the door, Lord, the house looking like a rummage sale, yeah. It ain't me, it ain't me. I ain't no million son. It ain't me, it ain't me. I ain't no fortunate one, no. Some folks inherit star-spangled eyes. Ooh, they send you down to war. And when you ask them how much should we give, ooh, the only answer is more. It ain't me, it ain't me. I ain't no military son. It ain't me, it ain't me. I ain't no fortunate one, no. It ain't me. It ain't me, I ain't no fortunate one, no. It ain't me, I ain't no fortunate son, no. Thank you.
Good morning, Birmingham Unitarian Church. Good morning. Welcome to all, whether you are visiting for the first time or have been here many times before. Whether you are joining us here in the sanctuary, remotely via Zoom, or watching this recording later, it is good to connect with you. I am Kevin Kozlowski, a member of the Welcome Team. Today, children will be with us throughout the service. The family room, located just to the left in the back of the sanctuary, has audio of the service piped in, and it is open for parents and children. Care is also available in the nursery on the lower level for infants and children through age 5. By greeting our virtual neighbors, we build a bridge between online and in-person participants. First, we will project on our screen the image of folks who are currently on Zoom. We ask that you show yourselves and give us a wave. Now, we invite you who are gathered in person to turn to face the camera in the back of the sanctuary and give the folks out there a wave. If you are with us in person, we invite you to join us after the service for coffee and conversation in Hodas Hall, which is located to the left after you exit the sanctuary. Our newcomer table is a place where visitors and newcomers can meet and chat with members of the congregation and with each other. All are encouraged to drop by. Just look for the colorful sign. If you are with us on Zoom, we invite you to stay on the call for a virtual coffee hour immediately after the service ends. Whenever and however we connect with BUC, we are building this beloved community.
The campus of Birmingham Unitarian Church occupies the ancestral, traditional, and contemporary lands of the Anishinaabe Council of Three Fires, the Ojibwe, Ottawa, and Potawatomi peoples. Bloomfield Hills is situated on land ceded in the 1807 Treaty of Detroit. We acknowledge Michigan's 12 federally recognized Native nations as well as historic indigenous communities in Michigan. We also acknowledge those who were forcibly removed from their homelands, as well as Indigenous individuals and communities who live here now. We affirm Indigenous sovereignty, history, and experiences.
Using a spark of hope, let us kindle the flame of love, ignite the light of peace, and feed the flame of justice. I invite you now to rise in body or in spirit and join in singing hymn 1015, I Know I Can.
It's a beautiful spring morning here at Birmingham Unitarian Church on Memorial Day weekend. We're going through stuff, but let's get through it together. Though days be dark with storms and burdens weigh my heart, though troubles wait at every turn, I know I can go on when sorrow heals my soul and burdens make me strong. Though troubles wait at every turn, I know I can go on. And though the journey is long, the destination is near. Though troubles wait at every turn, I know I can go on. Oh, I know I can go on. One more time. I know I can go on.
From the fragmented world of our everyday lives, we gather together in search of wholeness. By many cares and preoccupations, by diverse and selfish aims, are we separated from one another and divided within ourselves. Yet we know that no branch is utterly severed from the tree of life that sustains us all. We cherish our oneness with those around us and the countless generations that have gone before us. We would hold fast to all of good we inherit, even as we would leave behind us the outworn and the false. We would escape from bondage to the ideas of our own day and from the delusions of our own fancy. Let us labor in hope for the dawning of a new day without hatred, violence, and injustice. This story is The Wall by Eve Bunting. This is the wall, my grandfather's wall. On it are the names of those killed in a war long ago. Where is Grandpa's name, I ask. We have to find it, Dad says. He and I have come a long way for this, and we walk slowly, searching. The wall is black and shiny as a mirror. In it, I can see Dad and me. I can see the bare trees behind us and the dark flying clouds. A man in a wheelchair stares at the names. He doesn't have legs. I'm looking and he sees me looking and smiles. Hi, son, he says. Hi. His hat is a soft, squashed green and there are medals on it. His pant legs are folded back and his shirt is a soldier's shirt. A woman old as my grandma is hugging a man old as my grandpa would be. They are both crying. Shh, he whispers. Shh. Flowers and other things have been laid against the wall. There are little flags, an old teddy bear, and letters weighted with stones so they won't blow away. Someone has left a rose with a droopy head. Have you found Grandpa yet? I ask. No, Dad says, there are so many names. They're listed under the years when they were killed. I found 1967. That's when my grandpa died. Dad runs his fingers along the rows of print, and I do too. The letters march side by side like rows of soldiers. They're nice and even. It's better printing than I can do. The wall is warm. Dad is searching and searching. Albert A. Jensen, Charles Bronowski, George Munoz, he mutters. His fingers stop moving. Here he is. My grandpa, I ask. Dad nods. Your grandpa. His voice blurs. My dad. He was just my age when he was killed. Dad's rubbing the name, rubbing and rubbing as if he wants to wipe it away. Maybe he just wants to remember the way it feels. He lifts me so I can touch it too. We've brought paper. Dad puts it over the letters and rubs on it with a pencil so the paper goes dark and the letters show up white. You've got parts of other guys' names on there too, I tell him. Dad looks at the paper. Your grandpa won't mind. They were probably friends of his anyway, I say. Dad nods. Maybe so. A man and a boy walk past. Can we go to the river now, Grandpa? The boy asks. Yes, and the man takes the boy's hand. But button your jacket, it's cold. My dad stands very still with his head bent. A bunch of big girls in school uniforms come down the path. Their teacher is with them. They're all carrying more of those little flags. Is this wall for the dead soldiers, Miss Gerber? One of them asks in a loud voice. The names are the names of the dead, but the wall is for all of us, the teacher says. They make a lot of noise and ask a lot of questions, and all the time Dad just stands there with his head bowed, and I stand beside him. The girls stick their flags in the dirt in front of the wall and leave. Then it's quiet again. Dad folds the paper that has Grandpa's name on it and puts it in his wallet. He slides out a picture of me, one of the yucky ones they took in school. Mom made me wear a tie. Dad puts the picture on the grass below Grandpa's name. It blows away. I get it and put it back and pile some little stones on top. My face smiles up at me from under the stones. Grandpa won't know who I am, I tell Dad. I think he will, Dad says. I move closer to him. It's sad here. He puts his hand on my shoulder. I know, but it's a place of honor. I'm proud that your grandfather's name is on this wall. I am too. I am. But I'd rather have my grandpa here, taking me to the river, telling me to button my jacket because it's cold. I'd rather have him here.
The mission of Birmingham Unitarian Church is to be a free and welcoming religious community that encourages lives of integrity, learning, service, and joy. One way we live out this mission is by giving half of our weekly offering to a nonprofit organization that shares our values and addresses needs in the community. Our recipient today is Michigan Liberation's Black Mamas Bailout Project. Cash bail criminalizes poverty and keeps 8,000 Michiganders in jail every night simply because they can't afford bail. Very often, this is for nonviolent charges such as traffic offenses and theft. The Black Mamas Bailout Initiative is used to post bail for mothers who are caught in the discriminatory cash bail practice. When the person appears in court on their scheduled date, the bail money is returned and gets used again for another person's bailout. This organization helps free mothers to return home to their children. The ushers will now receive this morning's offering, given and received in a spirit of generosity and gratitude. This offering is dedicated to the good works of Michigan Liberation Black Mamas Bailout Project and of this congregation. Ushers.
Don't be afraid of your freedom. I'm free to do what I want any old time. I said I'm free to do what I want any old time. I say love me, hold me, love me, hold me, 'cause I'm free to do what I want any old time. And I'm free to be who I choose any old time. Everybody, I say love me, hold me, love me, hold me, 'cause I'm free. I say love me, hold me. Everybody love me, hold me, 'cause I'm free to do what I want any old time. 'Cause I'm free to do what I want any old time. Everybody, I say love me, hold me, love me, hold me, 'cause I'm free.
This is a prayer for the world. After each line that I read, I invite you to respond. We lift up our hearts. For all who die in war, for all who live in suffering in the aftermath of violence, for all who give their lives in smoke and flame, for all who go on in honor of the dead, for all who have served, for our country and our world, for a planet that will find peace, for the young and the innocent, for the weary and war-torn, for those who would pray, for those too angry to cry, for all of us, for the many names of God. Shanti, Shalom, peace, Salam. We hold each other in our hearts and minds with all our joys and all our sorrows. We remember those experiencing losses and those facing health challenges. We pray, in whatever way we pray, for all those affected by war, by hatred and violence. On this Memorial Day, as we remember soldiers and sailors who have died in war, we pray for peace. The cares of the world are many. Even when the cares of the world weigh on us, may we find joy in our connections with each other and in the pleasures that life holds. Let's take care of one another and ourselves in all the ways we can. Let us make this a safe and welcoming place for all. If you wish to do so, please come forward now to silently light a candle or light a candle wherever you are, in remembrance of a sorrow that weighs on you or of a joy that lifts your heart.
Sing
This reading is The Young Dead Soldiers by Archibald MacLeish. The young dead soldiers do not speak. Nevertheless, they are heard in the still houses. Who has not heard them? They have a silence that speaks for them at night and when the clock counts. They say, "We are young, we have died, remember us." They say, "We have done what we could, but until it is finished, it is not done." They say, "We have given our lives, but until it is finished, no one can know what our lives gave." They say, "Our deaths are not ours, they are yours. They will mean what you make them." They say, "Whether our lives and our deaths were for peace and a new hope, or for nothing, we cannot say. It is you who must say this. We leave you our deaths. Give them their meaning. We were young," they say. "We have died. Remember us."
This 1989 song by legendary Canadian folk musician Neil Young questions the government's rhetoric and its impact on everyday people, including those who fought and lost their lives to help us keep our freedom. There's colors on the street, red, white, and blue. People shuffling their feet, people sleeping in their shoes. But there's a warning sign on the road ahead. There's a lot of people saying we'd be better off dead. Don't feel like Satan, but I am to them. So I try to forget it any way that I can. Keep on rocking in the free world. 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 I see a woman in the night with a baby in her hands under an old street light near a garbage can. Now she puts the kid away and she's gonna get a hit. She hates her life and what she's done to it. There's one more kid that will never go to school, never get to fall in love, never get to be cool. Keep on rocking in the free world. 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 We got 1,000 points of light for the homeless man. We got a kinder, gentler machine gun hand. We got department stores, toilet paper, got styrofoam boxes for the ozone layer. Got a man other people say is keep hope alive. Got fuel to burn and got a rose Keep on rocking in the free world. Keep on rocking in the free world. Keep on rocking in the free world.
I don't know whether you can see the scarf that I'm wearing. It's a stole this morning. It's a relic of the 1960s, and I'm a relic of the 1960s too. It was the time of the Vietnam War. The design is a pattern of peace symbols rendered in patriotic red, white, and blue. The 1960s flags and peace symbols seemed to be mutually exclusive. Symbols of different ways of life and different worldviews. The flag was the symbol of the so-called hard hats, the ones who supported the war in Vietnam, the ones whose slogan was, "My country, right or wrong." Peace symbol was the symbol of the hippies, the ones who opposed the war, the ones whose slogan was, "War is not healthy for children and other living things." This scarf with its pattern of red, white, and blue peace symbols was sold as a fashion accessory at Gimbel's department store. My mother bought it on clearance. The price tag remained on it for many years, until the first time I wore it for a worship service shortly after September 11th, 2001, another time when concepts of patriotism and peace seemed to be especially difficult to reconcile. I've worn it a few times since then, including shortly after the January 6th, 2021 insurrection at the US Capitol. I'm pretty sure I wore it after the last election in 2024. Love of country and love of peace are, of course, not mutually exclusive. However, the relationship between the two can sometimes be confusing. The poet Archibald MacLeish, author of this morning's reading about the young dead soldiers, wrote that the art of poetry is the art of making sense of the chaos of human experience. Perhaps poetry can serve as a tool to help sort out some of the complexities of patriotism. As a child in school, I learned this poem, and maybe some of you did too. In Flanders fields the poppies grow, between the crosses row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky the larks still bravely singing fly, scarce heard among the guns below. We are the dead. Short days ago we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe. To you from failing hands we throw the torch, be yours to hold it high. If you break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders fields. The poem, written by World War I Colonel John McCrae, a surgeon in Canada's 1st Brigade Artillery in 1915, expressed his grief over the row on row of graves of soldiers who had died in Flanders battlefields. Canada's Department of Veterans Affairs describes this context for the writing of the poem. In the trenches, John McCrae tended hundreds of wounded soldiers every day. He was surrounded by the dead and dying. In a letter to his mother, he wrote of his experience of battle. The general impression in my mind is of a nightmare. We have been in the most bitter of fights. For 17 days and 17 nights, none of us have had our clothes off, nor our boots even, except occasionally. In all that time while I was away, gunfire and rifle fire never ceased for 60 seconds. And behind it all was the constant background of the sights of the dead, the wounded, the maimed, and a terrible anxiety lest the line should give way. The day before he wrote his famous poem, one of McRae's closest friends was killed in the fighting and buried in a makeshift grave with a simple wooden cross. Wild poppies were already beginning to bloom between the crosses marking the many graves. Unable to help his friend or any of the others who had died, John McRae gave them a voice through his poem. The poem was used as propaganda, a rallying cry to press on in battle. Yet the introduction of a 1921 illuminated edition of the poem suggested a different way of keeping faith with those who had died. It is the poem of all those who understand the meaning of the great conflict and of the sacrifice made by those who gave themselves for the right. It is the voice of the dear dead calling on us who live to see that their sacrifice shall not have been made in vain. May we be true to the call which John McRae's words, written at that moment of world crisis, bring to us. May we never break faith with those who die in Flanders fields. The introduction to the poem continues, the victory having been won over brutal and lawless might, may we win the victory also over all that creates unbrotherliness and ill will. May we stand in fellowship with all who love liberty and justice, for those principles for which they together fought, and for the maintenance of right and peace in all the world. Inspired by the poem, since 1922, the veterans of foreign wars have sold fabric poppies to benefit hospitalized and disabled veterans and the survivors of those who served. As the Veterans Affairs Department website states, the poppy itself survives as a perpetual tribute to those who have given their lives for the nation's freedom. Archibald MacLeish's poem, The Young Dead Soldiers, was written during World War II, when MacLeish was librarian of the Library of Congress. In his book of reflections, MacLeish writes that he wrote the poem in response to a request from the Secretary of the Treasurer for something that could be used for propaganda purposes in support of the war. MacLeish writes that he never submitted the poem, which was probably not what the Secretary of the Treasury had in mind. The silent voices of the young dead soldiers say, whether our lives and our deaths were for peace and a new hope or for nothing, we cannot say. It is you who must say this. We leave you our deaths. Give them their meaning. We were young, they say. We have died. Remember us. Another poet, William Stafford, also wrote of his experience during World War II. Stafford was a conscientious objector, a pacifist, who served in CO camps during the war. In the introduction to a book of Stafford's writings titled Every War Has Two Losers, titled for one of his aphorisms, Stafford's son writes, all his life, Stafford was a witness for a comprehensive view. He believed in the fragile but essential community of the world, and he wrote on behalf of what he called the unknown good in our enemies. In his view, such a life of witness was both compassionate and profoundly practical. In the long term, wars simply don't work as well as reconciliation, he said. One of Stafford's poems is titled At the National Monument along the Canadian border. Canadians are well represented today. This is the field where the battle did not happen. where the unknown soldier did not die. This is the field where grass joined hands, where no monument stands, and the only heroic thing is the sky. Birds fly here without any sound, unfolding their wings across the open. No people killed or were killed on this ground, hallowed by neglect and an air so tame that people celebrate it by forgetting its name. Stafford wrote about and exemplified an alternative way of serving one's country. In the center of human life are those who hold it together. They make home what it is. They listen to leaders, receive, decide. Whatever country is, whatever a profession, a town, they establish that. Peace, said Martin Luther King, is not the absence of conflict, it is the presence of justice. In 1989, leaders of 40 nations presented their declaration to the United Nations. Appropriate then and now, the Mount Abu Declaration states, "Our beautiful planet is faced with a crisis of unprecedented magnitude. In many cultures, the moral fabric of society is challenged by violence, crime, addiction, denial of human rights and human dignity, and the disintegration of family life. At the same time, we, the people of the world, are yearning for peace and a better world for ourselves and our children. How is it that with all the human skill and talent that exists, with all the achievements in technology, there is still grinding poverty, massive arms expenditure, and a grave deterioration in the environment?" The declaration continues, "There is so much to be done and so many willing hands and hearts to do it. What is needed is a spirit of cooperation and goodwill, the attitude of love and respect toward each other, the practice of positive and creative thinking, the application of moral and spiritual values in daily life, as well as action based on a shared vision of a better world. Now is the time to call on the will and the clear vision of the people." And the declaration concludes, "A vision without a task is but a dream. A task without a vision is drudgery. A vision with a task can change the world." Peace is the vision, justice is the task. In a Memorial Day blog post, David Pyle, the regional lead for the Mid-America region and of the UUA, and U.S. Army Reserve chaplain, wrote about taking a group of young soldiers to visit the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Wall and other monuments in Washington, D.C. He writes, "Memorial Day should never glorify war. What glory there is in war is often only found in its memory, not its reality. No, Memorial Day is about remembering the reality. It is about remembering the cost, the price, and the horror of war, so that it is not the first thing we allow our politicians to turn to. It is so that we remember that war is not fought by some faceless soldiers, but by young kids, just like those that walked the memorials with me." And David Pyle continues, "For those of us who believe in peace, who hope for peace, who pray for peace, and who work for peace, there should be no more sacred day in our calendar than Memorial Day. The day to remember the cost of war and to never, never, never allow that cost to be forgotten." These days, the news of war in Ukraine and in the Middle East is horrific. The doomsday clock has become a universally recognized indicator of the world's vulnerability to global catastrophe. Founded in 1945 by Albert Einstein and University of Chicago scientists who helped develop the first atomic weapons in the Manhattan Project. The Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists created the Doomsday Clock 2 years later, using the imagery of apocalypse, midnight, and the contemporary idiom of nuclear explosion, counting down to 0, to convey threats to humanity and the planet. This year, the Science and Security Board of the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists has again moved the hands of the Doomsday Clock forward, now standing at 89 seconds to midnight. Can the world come back from the brink of the closest to global catastrophe it has ever been? The poet Archibald MacLeish wrote, "The young dead soldiers do not speak. Nevertheless, they are heard in the still houses. They say, whether our lives and our deaths were for peace and a new hope or for nothing, we cannot say. It is you who must say this." We can respond by honoring their lives and their deaths, by promulgating peace and working for justice. I invite you now to rise in body or in spirit and join in singing hymn 1018, "Come and Go With Me."
Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm bound, where I'm bound. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm bound. There'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land. There will be freedom in that land where I'm bound. There will be freedom in that land. There will be freedom in that land. There will be freedom in that land where I'm bound. There will be justice in that land. There will be justice in that land. There will be justice in that land where I'm bound, where I'm bound. There will be justice in that land. There will be justice in that land. There will be justice in that land where I'm bound. Everybody! There will be singing in that land. There will be singing in that land. There will be singing in that land where I'm bound, where I'm bound. There will be singing. There will be singing. There will be singing in that land where I'm bound. Come and go with me to the land where I'm bound.
We extinguish this flame, but not what it means. We become beacons of truth, spreading its warmth to others, glowing bright with passion for life and love of justice. May we live our lives fully and creatively so that we may be a blessing to ourselves, to each other, and to all those whose lives we touch. Please remain seated for a moment of reflection during the postlude.
Join me. Love me, hold me, love me, hold me. Couple more times. Love me, hold me, love me, hold me, 'cause I'm free.
As a veteran of that time, I've been sitting here taunting with myself. I really want to express the sincerity of this day. And I was supposed to be on the DMZ when this fellow died. And a friend of mine who wanted to go to war, he and I went to the commander, and I was able to convince them that since my wife was pregnant and I was older and I was a Chinese cryptographer at the time, that we could trade places. And thank God this young man went to the DMZ. It was overrun just the next week. And in thought, I mean, man, my cousin died, other friends, many of my friends that were security officers, etc., died in that situation. And I led a merry life in Taiwan. You know, we were intercepting during the Chinese Revolution. But it's an honor, really, to realize that I was a part of that, even though in innocence, we had no idea. Today we know that government lies to us, and they lied to us profusely. McNamara, Westmoreland, Johnson in particular, one of the great presidents, he knew he was doing evil when he bombed. He knew it. And today, I hesitate. We were asked by, we have a committee here in this group, and they emailed asked me to send messages to my representative. And my representative is as Republican as they come. Anyway. But I think we can do something. We've got to be able to do something. I'm very afraid of this president. I'm sorry. I know that sounds awfully oblique, but we need to act as a church.